Hey everybody, it's Terry with West Tennessee K9. I want to shoot a quick video about introduction to prong collars. I use a lot of prong collars, not on every dog, but about every dog. The misconception is how you introduce a dog to a prong collar. There's kind of the theory out there that, the dog goes one way and you yank the other. That's not always the best way. Actually, it's not the best way at all. We want to introduce the dog to a prong collar in kind of a neutral environment. We want to make sure that we're giving pressure on, pressure off. That means when you pull the collar towards you, the dog goes the other way, you pull the leash, the dog has pressure on the collar, you keep pressure until that dog turns towards you, then you release pressure and create movement. What we don't want is a dog that's in front of you or behind you and you're giving that just consistent pressure where it's like a tug of war. We don't want that because then it becomes a fight. Remember, dogs have nothing but time. They will fight with you all day long. So here's a little video on how to do the introduction to prong collar. All right, so this is the prong collar. This is the black one. I use black ones for the simple reason they do not show up so much in pictures and I don't get ugly emails, as many ugly emails. So that's why I use the black one. This is a Herm Springer collar. The brand is very important. I'm going to post a little picture of the difference between the way the prongs look and between like the ones from the pet store and the Herm Springer. Herm Springers are very strong. It's a good strong metal. It's connected in the middle so the prongs actually change directions and don't all go the same way and just keep turning around the dog's neck. The goal is not to hurt the dog with this. The goal is to create pressure. Now you have pressure and you have correction. We'll do correction in an entirely different video. But this is a Herm Springer collar. Right, so you want to make sure that the collar is sized properly. And what does that mean? One, the collar does not slip over the dog's head. It has a link, and they call this a pinch collar because you pinch and you put the links together, okay, and slide them through, okay? It needs to be fitted right here, right behind the dog's ear. It's going to seem kind of tight, and that's okay. As the dog learns and progresses, if you want to add a link to loosen up a little bit for longer wear, that's completely up to you. But you want to make sure it has a good firm fit. If it does not fit well, if it doesn't sit right here on the dog, right under the jawline, right behind the ear, then what you'll have is a collar down here, and every time you pull this collar, it'll whoop like this. Okay, and what you'll end up with is one, a dog who doesn't respond as well because it's not in the right place, it's not creating the pressure in the right area, and also you'll end up with a dog with no hair from here to here. So even with flat collars, you'll see a lot of times I'll see dogs come in that have nothing but a flat collar or pullers, and they have the collars way down here because even flat collars should be up here. They have the collars way down here, and you can tell that they're pullers because there's no hair from here to here. Where every time that dog pulls, it's just rubbing. It's a complete bald spot right here.
Maggie, I want you to see where the collar sits on her neck. I can still get fingers under it. Okay, but see how high it is? Good girl. I know. And that's where the collar should sit.
All right, so I'm using Maggie here. She's never been on a prong collar. She's an adult German Shepherd. I've already fitted the collar to her. I'm going to show you kind of inside here the pressure and release. It's hard to do it inside, effectively, so we're going to move it outside. But I want to kind of show you in a quiet environment what I mean by pressure and release. Until I'm ready to work the dog, I keep them on a slip lead because I don't want any kind of, false signals going to the dog. So I'm going to put on the leash now. So I'm going to give pressure and release the pressure when she comes toward me. Pressure on, pressure off. As soon as she makes that turn, pressure, pressure off, pressure, pressure off, pressure, pressure off. Okay. I'm not really concerned at this point with her being in a heel position. Pressure on, pressure off. Pressure on, pressure off. Okay? And I just give light pressure until she responds. I keep increasing the pressure, pressure off. Okay? So I'm just trying to get her turned and coming toward me. All right, so we moved outside now. I'm working on a long lead. I think it's about a 15 or 20 foot lead. There's a lot of distractions out here. So, when she gets distracted on something, I'm gonna give that light pressure and get her turned the other way and just keep working her back and forth. So eventually I get her pretty much right beside me, and then I'll start using my body to kind of lead her. So I wanted you to notice a couple things from that last little clip of me walking the dog. The dog would go, you'd see the dog go, you'd see me create a little pressure, and then the dog would turn. And that is the absolute key. Now toward the end, what you saw me doing is pulling the dog toward me, and then when the dog came toward me, I would pick it up, which means I would catch it on my left hip and turn the dog so it starts to cue off my body. And you can see fairly quickly, most dogs get the hang of it, pretty fast. You saw it toward the end there, just in that little bit of time. That's the absolute first time I've worked her on a prong collar, and you see really quickly toward the end she was already kind of lining up with me. Now, granted, she is an adult German Shepherd who is fairly calm, so she's a little bit easier to work than, say, a rambunctious German Shepherd puppy or Rottweiler puppy, or just a rambunctious dog in general. So every dog's gonna be different, but stay patient, keep your sessions very short, and just have fun with it. You can get a dog walking on a leash with a prong collar pretty quickly. This is Terry with West Tennessee Canine, and I sure hope this helped.